What's going on, listeners? Coach Steve with the Fantasy Coaches back talking 2023 ADP. Next up on my list, Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey had a very interesting 2022 season. Starting off with the Carolina Panthers, he had 85 carries, 670 total yards, and 3 touchdowns, plus 33 receptions in over a 6-game span. He would then later be traded to the 49ers, where he had 159 carries, 1,200 total yards, 9 touchdowns, and 52 receptions in just 11 games. He would wind up finishing RB2 overall, despite having a team switch mid-season here. And usually that's not a big thing, but it is Christian McCaffrey, and he ended up bouncing back like we all hoped he was after a few seasons of injuries that we did not enjoy. But what can be different in 2023 for him? Obviously, we all know he's an elite player, but now he has a full season with the 49ers. And that's big because his 17-game pace with them was 1,800 yards, 14 touchdowns, 100 targets, and 80 receptions. That is a dominant season. And yes, he might be a little bit older, but he can still perform these numbers. And that is big and key. As long as he can stay healthy, obviously. That's the only concern with Christian McCaffrey. But, man, that a full season with the 49ers is key. The quarterback situation is definitely an interesting situation as well. Obviously, we had no Trey Lance, and Brock Purdy are fighting it out. Brock Purdy obviously played with Christian McCaffrey, and it obviously didn't affect his game. Brock Purdy threw him the ball consistently enough. Now, Trey Lance, when he was starting quarterback, he didn't really throw to his RBs as much. And in the 4 games that he actually did start, the best RB had 2 targets in the game. Now, it wasn't Christian McCaffrey level talent, so maybe we don't need to worry as much, but it is something to keep your eyes on if Trey Lance does get the starting job, because that could dramatically change Christian McCaffrey's role there on the offense. It could also lead to Trey Lance running the ball more, but it also lead to more efficiency from CMC. It comes and goes with the quarterback and their mobility. Brock Purdy, if he does start, I do like Christian McCaffrey more as a solid floor play, but the upside with Trey Lance, it's more of a upside, but not the solid floor potentially. And then, of course, Elijah Mitchell. Now, Elijah Mitchell has been hurt consistently through his NFL career, but when he's been on the field last year, and it was only a few games with Christian McCaffrey, they split the carry work. While McCaffrey still got the targets, and that's always good. We want that in fantasy, especially in any kind of point per perception. But the running game, it was a very split backfield. Obviously, Elijah Moore is a more rundown running back, and he obviously had more carries and more yardage, while Christian McCaffrey had only averaged about 33 yards during that time frame with Elijah Moore. So that could be somewhat of a concern. But it is Christian McCaffrey who shouldn't worry too much. But should he be the first running back going off the board? I think you can make an argument for that. I think because of his upside in the receiving game, there's no limit to how high he can go for us in fantasy. You could obviously argue he could go 1 overall if you really want that kind of elite running back. He is ADP 3 right now, but he should be, again, another top 5 pick in your 23 NFL draft season.